Hi guys, welcome back to Dan's World, and today we are going to be pretty much finishing the house. Well, that's the goal anyway. I don't know if that will actually happen, but we're going to be making quite a bit of progress nevertheless. So in the previous episode we got quite a lot done. We managed to get all the walls in down there, we managed to get these walls in, we managed to get Wolfie's dog room all completed, and I'm pretty sure that Wolfie loves it in here. I mean, have you seen the excitement on his face? But I think that's quite enough of talking about things that I have already done. Let's move on to what we're going to be doing in today's episode. Well, in today's episode I want to get this room here done, which will be my bedroom, which I have finally finished designing. Woohoo! And then in here, this is going to be the guest bedroom, which I've had designed for quite a while, so that's just quite an easy to plop in. And then I think I should have time to put the roof on and then mark the house as complete. Obviously I need to go through and make a few final adjustments. For example, there's a couple of places where windows are missing, but that will just be a quick 2-minute job. So it's looking like the house might be finished in today's episode. So let's jump straight into a time lapse and get these walls all built up. Okay, so I've got all the walls and ceiling in, including the windows, both in what is going to be my room and also what is going to be the guest room. Oh no, I'm missing some windows. Doesn't matter. I'll go back to that in a moment. But now with all that in, we can begin furnishing the bedrooms, both the master bedroom and, of course, the guest bedroom over here. But before we do that, we're going to jump into the creative test world so I can show you a little bit of what I'm thinking for the design. So here we are once again in the creative test world, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of what I'm wanting to do for the interior of the bedroom design. So for the guest bedroom, it's going to be very simple, just a couple of shelves and some beds. However, for the master bedroom, which is going to be my bedroom, I wanted to go with something a little bit more fancy. For example, we've got a bed here with a bed frame, and it's got different colours, and then we've got a carpet here where the different colours are different lengths. And then I've even got flowers on some shelves. It's just nice and decorated and just feels quite filled up. And with this being quite a big room, it was important to make sure that it didn't feel empty, so there's just things everywhere in the room. And it just doesn't feel empty or plain or boring. That's of course in my opinion. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump back over to the main world, and we are going to begin constructing this fancy interior. We are back now in the main world, and now we're just going to bring up an oak wood pillar like so, and then we're just going to strip that wood there. Then we're going to use some spruce trapdoors around the bottom like so, just to add a little bit of texture to that. Now that little pillar is in, I've basically got my bearings of the room, so I can follow the design that I came up with in the test world. So there needs to be 3 blocks in the middle there, then there needs to be a dark oak stair here, and basically here we're making a little bed frame. So you want a piece of orange wool there, a piece of blue wool there, and then another piece of orange wool, and then above that we want to put some more dark oak slabs. Like so. Then we do a lovely, luxurious 3-wide bed, so then that way we have space to sort of spread out across the bed. And the colours of the bed alternate against the colours that are on the headboard, which in my opinion looks pretty cool. Now we're going to put the carpet in here. So across here we need to put some orange carpet, and then here we want to put some more orange carpet, and then 1 block forward here we want to use some grey carpet, and then we want to do the same there. And it sort of alternates between going forwards and backwards, which creates a rather cool aesthetic compared to if it was like normal like that. It adds a little bit of shape to it and just gives it a little bit of personality. Okay, so now we are just going to chuck in a little sofa over here. But if you remember from the test world, there is meant to be some smooth quartz there, but I don't currently have any smooth quartz, and I thought that I had some in the house, but clearly not, so I'll have to go and get some of those a little bit later on. Now we just need to chuck in another little table here, just to put some nice little objects on, and then another little shelf up there, and then I'm going to put some little plant pots on there, but the sun is currently setting, meaning that we can have a little sleep in our bed, in our bedroom for the first time. So this is kind of like a historic moment for Dan's world. And there we have it, our first little sleep, and I tell you what, it's very cozy. Oh, that is the best sleep that I have ever had in this world. So now I'm pretty sure we can all agree that it's starting to come together. It's starting to have that nice homely feel to it. So now we just need to get all of these lanterns in to make sure that we can see and we don't have the torches just scattered everywhere. Now with those lights in, I can come around here and remove all of these torches because now the room is lit in a more pretty way, shall we say. So now I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of plant pots just for decoration. And I'm going to put one on this little table here, and then I'm going to put one just off center up there. And I've got a little mixture of flowers so that I can mix it up and have two different flowers, and it just adds a little pop of colour. One thing that I forgot is that the design of the room actually has a blue banner in it to add a little bit of colour to the room and break up a little bit of the repetitiveness of just having oak all the way around. So it just goes above the door there, and it just adds that little bit of texture and colour. You can see that it helps the room feel a lot more alive and lived in, I guess. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my focus away from my room, and I'm going to move my focus now on to what the guest bedroom is going to look like and getting this all furnished. So a couple of you might be wondering why I'm bothering building a guest bedroom, because we don't really have anyone over in this world, but the thing is, you never know, you might have a guest come over and you need to be prepared for that. Bumble might even come over and visit, you never know. So originally for the guest bedroom I was going to do blue beds, but I've decided to go with red beds just because they give me a little bit of nostalgia, because obviously when you used to craft beds, they used to always be red no matter what, so I feel like that's just a little bit of Minecraft history in this room right here. That makes me feel old, I know that actually. So now I'm just going to put a couple of chests up here. Now the reason that I've put those chests up there is because any guests that come into our world will need somewhere to store a couple of their things, because yeah, they won't really have a house. And we can also put a few materials in there for them, such as some torches and like just a little bit of food for them to have. Now that the majority of the room is done, we're going to focus on a little bit of decoration and just filling up the room. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a nice grey and red carpet in this room just to help fill up some of the space. So I've used red and grey, very similar to the one that's in my room, but mine uses orange and grey. But for this one I've used red and grey just for that little bit of differentiation. Now all that's left to do in here is to get the lights put in. So we just want to put a light there and a light there just on some chains, and then that will nicely light up the guest bedroom. Let me know what you think. It's only a little room because it's probably not going to see much use, but you know what, it's here for if we need it. So I think that now the interior of the house is pretty much 100% complete. There's probably something missing somewhere, but I'd class it as a complete for now. Oh, there's meant to be a table there, but I'll do that in just a moment. But I think now we need to move on to the thing which is going to cost me quite a lot of materials. Yeah, you guessed it, it's time to build the roof. Goodbye all of my spruce wood. But hey, it's time for time-lapse, Dan. Well, with the roof now on the house, that makes the house pretty much 100% complete. Well, it's 100% complete. To the best of my knowledge, there's probably something missing somewhere, but yeah, that is the house pretty much all done. I keep saying pretty much because I'm sure there's something missing, but I can't put my finger on it. So I think before we end this episode, we're going to grab Wolfie here and we're going to go out to the entrance and we're going to have a little final look at the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look around the house and show you a little bit around it, just help you get your bearings, because it's been built across a couple of episodes. So if you haven't watched every episode, you might be missing a couple of things. So this is the main entrance to the house. What do you think, Wolfie? So this is just the main entrance connected up by this little staircase here, and then this here is our living space, which is pretty fancy. It's probably like one of my least favourite rooms, but you know what? Living rooms are quite difficult to do in Minecraft. So if we now go down these stairs here, we will find the kitchen, which was the first room that we constructed when we started building the house. So one of the main things about this room is probably the black and white checkerboard pattern, which is quite common. Well, it's not quite common in kitchens, but it gives that kitchen vibe. And then we've got the smooth quartz countertops, which were quite expensive to make, to be honest with you. And then we have obviously the little dining table over here. Then if we just go across this little hallway here, which also has another entrance, which doesn't really work, so I took in a ladder there to make it sort of functional. Come on in, Wolf. Oh no, Wolfie. Come on in. So then this here is our crafting and storage room. Oh, Wolfie, come in. Wolfie, come inside. So here's the central crafting area. Then we've got obviously a little fireplace here, which has that piece of atmosphere to the room. Then we have obviously a big wall of storage here with little item frames on the front showing me what goes where. And then obviously we have this little chair here, which has a sign, which, you know what, I just love this sign so much. And then, yeah, that's about it for this underground type area. And then if we go all the way up to the top here, we have Wolfie's room, which has this thing here. And then we've got Wolfie's little dog bed. And then we've got a few shelves up here, which just has a little bit of food for Wolfie. Speaking of which, Wolfie, you can have a little bit of food to make you all happy. Then in this room here, we've got my room, which has my nice bed, and then this fancy carpet design here. And it's just a really nice room, which is missing some smooth quartz, but you know what? We'll deal with that another time. And then across this hallway here, we have the guest bedroom, which is where any guests that come into the world can spend the night. And we've got this nice grey and red carpet with the red beds, and then some storage up above the beds for the guests. And I'd say that's roughly it for the house, to be honest with you. That is about everything that is in here. It's quite a small, well, it's not small, but it's nice, it's cozy, it's not too big, it's not too small. I forgot to say here, this is a room which we don't really have a purpose for, but we'll find a purpose for it eventually. But yeah, that is about it for the house. We have finished everything, I think. What do you think of the house, Wolfie? Great. Wolfie always has the best reviews. Well, with the house complete, I'm afraid that we have just about run out of time for this episode of Dan's World. So myself and Wolfie would like to thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.